again. It's Barb at Stamping for Beginners and Beyond. And in my previous video, I said I was going to show some different examples of ways to color in outline stamps. And today, that one didn't work real well. Rock it a little bit. There we go. Today I'm going to color in this flower. As you can see, sometimes you do have to play around with stamps a little bit and rock them. I talked about that in one of my previous videos about rocking it just a little bit so that you get a solid image all the way around and you don't get missed spaces like that one. Okay, so I'm using Memento black ink. It's very good at working with markers and not smearing the design. So I'm going to start off with that. And there are other kinds of ink that you can use, but that's the most basic. Today I want to talk about two different kinds of markers. One is alcohol-based markers, and those are your Sharpie markers like these and your Copic markers. And I'm going to show you the difference between the two. I just bought these for this project and I'm super excited to get them. Although I usually use Copics, I did want to show you what you can do with these because these are a lot less expensive. So when you have an image like this, it used to be that the Sharpies just came in darker colors and you could color it in with a darker color, absolutely, but it just kind of makes it seem too dark. And that's why I have switched over and I primarily use Copic markers. But that doesn't even look bad as long as you can get a good stamped image on the back, in the background. But I did notice when I was actually at the grocery store of all places that they now have Sharpie markers in these really nice pastel colors. So I thought I would give that a try. And while it's not ideal, if you're just starting out with stamping, there's absolutely nothing wrong with grabbing some Sharpies to color in some of your images. One of the things that Copics markers do is they have the ability to blend really well, one color with another. And I'm going to show you that in the Copics, but I'm also going to try it here. So as you can see, if your budget is like $20 to get some markers to get stamping, absolutely shoot for the Sharpies. The two that I got are called Cosmic Color and Mystic Gems, and I think they look pretty good. Now I did mention blending, and this is something that you take a darker color and then a lighter color and kind of blend it, and it gives it a little bit more of a 3D effect. I do think this might be a little bit easier with the other markers, but yeah, this still works. So what you do is you just take a little around the edges and put some darker in there. In fact, you don't even have to use the same color purple. I noticed that we've got this one that is like a really light pink, and you can even go in with that and blend the light purple and the dark purple together. And that makes it a little bit more 3D too. So these are actually working out really well. And I got like all of these markers. Some I got at Amazon and some I got at the grocery store. And all of these were like $20 tops. So like I said, if you're just starting out, this is a really great way to get a lot of colors for not a lot of money. And they do have very pretty properties. The one thing that you want to look for is you don't want the really dark ones. If you can get your lighter ones, see, your dark one is just going to almost color in all that ink, even with a very strong black ink. You're just not going to see it that much. And that ink will come in handy with something else. Now, I did want to share with you, if you are using a stamp like this, where you just need different colors and you don't have to really worry about seeing a design on the back, then these would be fine. So those I highly recommend, 20 bucks, and you're good to go with a few things. Now, the other markers that I have are the Copic markers. And like I said, those that I just bought are $20 for all those colors. And these run about $7 or $8 each. You can get them cheaper. I believe I buy mine from a place online, and I will share the link with you. And sometimes they have sales, or if you spend $100, you get $10 off. But these are called Copics. Now, these are both alcohol markers. And the difference between, the biggest difference that I see as a rubber stamper with the alcohol markers is when you color, you can kind of color over and it doesn't really make it look smudged. You still have, you go this way, you go that way, you color over it a little bit more, and you still have a nice even color there. And I'll show you similarly with one of these. Go that way, and let's say I wanted to make it a square. When all the ink is dry, it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to color in, I think I'm going to do this also in blue since I have my blue open. And they come in hundreds of colors, if not, probably not thousands, but they come in hundreds of colors. So you do have a lot more flexibility with the Copics because of the color choices. Now this is a very light blue, it's B00. The only lighter blue is B00. And then this is B23. So what I'm gonna do is just go in, and what I do it is one petal at a time so that it blends a lot better. The ink hasn't had time to dry yet. So these are your Copics, and you can see how they give a little bit more of a 3D effect. And I'll just do one more petal. Now, yeah, and I really like that, but honestly, that doesn't look bad either. And like I said, especially if you're just starting out, if you want to invest in some of these Copics at $7 each, they will last you years and years. And if they do run out of ink, I wanted to share with you why I really like the Copics and I use them. They are refillable, whereas these aren't, and there may be some other companies that have some that are refillable, but I know for sure that the Copics are. So if you were to buy, this is Begonia Pink RV 14. This is the marker that I spent about $7 or $8 for. And what you do is when you use this up, you don't throw it away. But this is also, these run about $5 each, maybe $6. And you can refill this marker about 5 times. So in essence, it's $1 to refill it. So not only are you getting really nice markers, but, and you just put a few drops on like that. So in essence, you buy the marker for $7 and you buy the refill for $5, and it's like getting 5 markers for like $12. So they're very inexpensive once you get going with them. But you do have to fork out a little bit more money in the beginning. So depending on how much you want to spend, you can just pick up some Sharpies and get stamping, or you can get your Copics and just have a greater variety of colors. So thank you for watching. That's the difference between these two. My next video, I'm going to show you the difference between alcohol markers and water-based markers. Thanks for watching.